All right, today we're going to be doing the zigzag slip stitch join for the bouquet blanket. Here I've attached some of the motifs at the corners. I've already done the join on the short sides. I will show you how to do it. It's done the same way, but doing it here on the long sides, I can show you how the corners join. So we start with the corner stitch. You'll see that there are two legs to the V, and we're going to be working through the back leg. So there are the two parts of the stitch. We're only going to be working through the back part for most stitches. I'll show you on the other side, and I'll go ahead and attach them to make it easier to see for this one. So just that bottom leg of both of those corner stitches, and you can see that's where we'll be doing our join. We take our crochet hook and we insert it from the top down through that stitch, and we're going to put a slip knot in our yarn, and we're going to put that on the hook and tighten it. Now we're going to pull that slip knot up through the stitch, and we're going to insert our hook into the other corner from the top down. We're going to yarn over under the project, and we're going to pull up, drop the yarn, yarn over under the project and pull up through that stitch and then through the other loop on the hook, creating a slip stitch. Now we're going to move to the next stitch on the right hand side, working into just that back loop. We go down from the top. Under the project we yarn over, and then we pull through the stitch and the loop on the hook to slip stitch to that side. Then we move to the left side, and the next stitch from the top down to the bottom, yarn over, pull up and through to slip stitch to the left side, creating a nice little zigzag. And we're going to keep working like that to the right through the back loop, yarn over and slip stitch to the left through the loop, yarn over, slip stitch, and you're going to keep working back and forth in this way along the whole seam. For the short joins where you just join one motif to the next one, that's all you do from corner to corner. You just slip stitch all the way up in a zigzag like that. Keeping the yarn under the project takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, the zigzag slip stitch join is actually quite fun to make and really gives a beautiful joined edge. As I move farther under the project, I find the holes in the motifs quite convenient to be able to continue to stick my thumb through to control where the project's moving. And you just continue working each next stitch. Got some more yarn there. The slip stitch join is quite forgiving. If you end up with the wrong number of stitches on one side, you can sometimes fudge it a little bit to make it work, where you go into one stitch on one side, and then if you have too many stitches, you can go back into that same stitch on one side while working into 2 stitches on the other side. We'll actually work into the same stitch a couple of times as we go through the corner join, which we're about to, so that you can see how to get all of those stitches in the corner. There are more stitches on one side than the other when going around a corner. Alright, so we're almost to the corner. I've got my corners marked with stitch markers to make it easy to see where we're working to. So we just go ahead and work all the stitches up to those corner spots. So this is the last one on the right side before the 2 corner stitches on the right side, and the last one before the 1 corner stitch on the left side. So for the corners, we'll work a little differently. We're going to work into both loops of the stitch, and that is to make it extra secure so we don't have a little hole. We're also going to work into both corners on the right side and 1 additional stitch through the join in the middle. So that's the tail from our join last time, and we're on the left side. So we're going to come work into the first corner on the right side, and the marker is in just 1 loop because it's from when we joined the single side, but we are going to work through both legs of the stitch. So you can see 2 legs right next to each other. You're just going to go behind both of those and do a slip stitch as normal. We're going through both legs to make sure we tighten up the corner without holes. Now we're going to work into the corner of the left motif. And for this next stitch, we're actually going to work through the join of the sides. So where it's creating the zigzags to this side, we're going to come in past the first one and work through that join and pull a slip stitch up through there. And then we're going to work back into the same stitch we just worked, the corner of the left motif, and pull a slip stitch in through there. And now we're done with this stitch on this motif. We're still going to work the corner of the right motif. So our stitch marker's in 1 leg. We want to work through both legs of the stitch. So if you follow the stitch around, you can kind of see where it is and grab both legs. So you're working through both legs of that last corner on the right hand side. Yarn over under the project, trying to move the tail out of the way so you can see. And that's how we do our corner join. Now you'll just go ahead and work into the next stitch, working once again into the back loop. And moving back to the right side through the back loop. I keep the tail of the join and work around it. That's up to you if you want to. I work around the tail of the other join for about half of the length of it, and then I drop it to the back to sew in the rest once I'm done. That just makes the first half of it already be worked over, so there's less to sew at the end. But again, that's just preference. I did find working over the full tail from it wouldn't work because then they don't get sewn in tightly enough. I prefer them to be, the tails to be sewn in a little bit more than just one direction. So that's why I work over about half of it. So then I sew the rest of the tail back in going the opposite direction so it's more secure. So we keep working from left to right and back again. And this is where I just tuck that tail out of the way, and I'll sew it in the rest of the way once I'm done with the project. Done with all the joins anyway. We'll work our way across this seam to another corner so I can show you that corner join again. The next corner will be going the other direction so that we'll have one corner. Now right here I have the invisible join at the end of the thing, so I go ahead and work into two parts where the invisible join overlaps the actual stitch that was there. I just did that because it seemed like the most effective way to work through those stitches where you have the invisible join and one stitch overlaps the other. I worked through both that were overlapped. Alright, so as we come around this corner, you'll see that we now have one corner on the right hand motif and two corners on the left one where we are joining here. Go ahead and work all the way over to it. When starting on the corner stitch join, you should always end on the side that has only one corner marked, the side with just one hexagon point. And if you don't happen to be on that side when you end, when you get to the join, if your hook is currently on the side with two, you're just going to want to work back into the same stitch you worked the last on the side with one point, sorry, to make sure that your hook is ending on that side to start the corner join. So here we have one last stitch, but if we were one stitch short and we're on the wrong side, you just work back into the last stitch you worked. Excuse me. Alright, so again the marker is in just the back legs of both of the two corner stitches from when we did the short join, and the right hand marker is through both legs of the corner. I'm going to take it out of one side so I can work the other one. Those are the two legs, and we're just going to grab both of them. They're a little spread out where the corner joins were, but they still make up the two legs of the corner stitch. So we just slip stitch into that one, and next we'll work into our corner on our right hand motif with a slip stitch. Find the tail to make sure it's out of the way. And now we're going to work through the join. So we find the zigzags where we joined them on the short side, and we just work through that join. we go. And then we work a second stitch back into the corner on the right hand motif. Take this stitch marker out and work right into that same stitch again. And after we've done that, we'll now work into the corner, the last corner on the left side. So that's the whole stitch, kind of stretched out, but you can see both legs of it. So we're just going to grab around both legs. So you can see that there are the two legs of the stitch over it. Making sure not to grab the tail there. And slip stitch through, and that is that corner joined. And we start working into the back leg of the next stitch on the right. And we're going to continue working that way across the whole blanket. So we get these lovely zigzag seams joining all of our flower motifs together. And we get these nice corners without big holes by working through both legs of those corner stitches. And that's it. That's the bouquet blanket. Thanks.